That's the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
In 1969, the world watched in awe as the United States sent its first spacecraft to the moon, allowing mankind to take its first step on an extraterrestrial mass. The rest of the world would place America on a pedestal in the space industry for decades to come. However, space is an incredible endeavor that has the power to bring the world together. In fact, it requires that the world, and its strongest leaders, come together to achieve the impossible. Before the early 2000s, there were only two countries in the world that were capable of putting humans into space: Russia and the United States. An incredible feat on both countries' parts, it was only a matter of time before another powerful country would be ready to make the same leap. That country is China. On the 10th of August, 1972, China took its first step towards space with a suborbital test launch of the Fengbao 1 at a 200-kilometer apogee. Actually known as a Chinese carrier rocket, it was used throughout a series of 11 launches, the last of which led to 3 satellites being carried into orbit. In 1975, the Long March 2 replaced the Fengbao 1. The Long March 2 was a 2-staged expendable rocket developed primarily as a commercial satellite launcher. It proves to be an extremely rigid design, so much so that it is still used today. The Long March 2 led to the development of an entire family of Long March rockets, including the Long March 2F, with which the first human spaceflight of the Chinese space program was launched.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Lifting off.
Unfortunately, the development of the Long March family was not without its pitfalls. For instance, when the upgraded Long March 3B was tested, it crashed, killing approximately 500 Chinese civilians in rural homes nearby the launch site. This is the largest space-related death toll in the world to date. In time, the Chinese space program continued on in the development of more capable versions of the Long March rockets. One of these rockets even took China to the moon by placing a lunar rover, the U-2, on the surface. This unmanned rover marked the first soft landing on the moon since 1976. An astounding accomplishment, this mission further established China's commitment to its pursuit of space. Currently, China is in the process of building and testing components of its Long March 5 rocket, with the Long March 6 and Long March 7 in the planning and approval stages.
Largest space rocket Long March 5 on Monday completed its engine ignition test in Beijing. The test is a vital step in ensuring it be launched as per plan in 2016. The first stage provides greater thrust for the rocket than others in its family. The rocket can carry up to 25 tons into low Earth orbit or 14-ton spacecraft bound for the moon.
With these innovations well on their way, China continues to be a global leader in pursuing the final frontier, with plans for a Mars rover and orbiter by 2020 and eventually its own Earth-orbiting space station.